Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scott Manning coming to you live from Scott Manning Sports Talk. I want to thank all of my loyal viewers for being with me here tonight. It is now time for the Scott Manning YouTube College Basketball Wrap-Up Show for Saturday, February 23rd. 5 big games on the slate. None of them didn't disappoint. We had one close one where we had an upset. We had a game that was emotionally charged after both teams that went through a nightmare. We had a blowout that could have changed the Big 12 race. I'm going to address that here tonight. You've seen if you look at my rundown below, you'll see what I'm going to be talking about tonight. And I'm also going to want to thank you guys for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get started. I am going to start out the show talking about Duke-Syracuse. This has been an emotional week for both schools. Duke lost Zion Williamson. He was a no-go. Everybody's thinking, Syracuse has got this wrapped up. All of a sudden, somebody out of the bench contributed. And I'll get to that in a minute. Jim Boeheim, Syracuse coach Jim Boeheim, was back courtside. And this was 3 days after he killed a pedestrian along Interstate 690 in Syracuse. As you know, he was involved in a tragic car accident where 51-year-old Jorge Jimenez was killed. There was a moment of silence before the game for the Jimenez family and prayers for both schools. Coach Mike Krzyzewski said, "It was so good to see him back out there coaching tonight. I know it's a big game, and I know it's been an emotional week. And this has been an emotional 3 days for Coach Boeheim. Think about it. You beat Louisville, then you get involved in a bad accident. And at this time, there will be no charges filed, which is a good thing. As far as the game goes, No.1 Duke beats Syracuse tonight 75-65. Duke, 26 of 59 from the field, they shot for 44.1%. Now, despite the fact they only went 9 of 29 for 31% from beyond the arc, they went 14 of 16 from the free throw line. That's 87.5%. Syracuse, on the other hand, the shooting was a little bit weak. 24 of 70 for 34.3%. And he went 5 of 23 from beyond the arc for 21.7%. And they weren't very good at the free throw line either. 12 of 19 for 63.2%. Duke did out-rebound Syracuse 44-40. And now Duke out-assisted Syracuse 16-12. But despite 13 turnovers, the Blue Devils got the job done. And what else can you say? Now, as for the stars of the game, R.J. Barrett, 30 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Alex O'Connell, a bench guy, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Trey Jones, he stepped up tonight. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block shot. That was the difference in the game tonight. Now, as far as Syracuse goes, Tyus Battle, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Elijah Hughes, 12.7 rebounds. Frank Howard, 10.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Malik Dolores, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 3 steals tonight. Well, this game tonight was an emotional roller coaster. Emotions were running high. Excuse me. Emotions were running high tonight in this game for a lot of reasons. Coach Boeheim, it was so good to see him back out on the court. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is an honor to see him back out on the. It was so good to see Coach Boeheim back out there courtside. Yes, I wanted Duke to win this ball game. I'm a Duke fan through and through. But after what Jim Boeheim has been through this week in the past 3 days, it's been nothing but a nightmare for him. His wife Julie has already said his wife Julie was at the game tonight, and I think that's all the motivation that Coach Boeheim needed to see his wife. Now I know Syracuse came out on the losing end, but you should have seen the emotional hug that Coach K and Jim Boeheim gave each other after the game. And you know, Mike Krzyzewski's been having a little bit of a rough go of it himself. He didn't have Zion Williamson available. I'm thinking, Syracuse is going to run away with this. They didn't. I've never seen a Syracuse team. This was not the same Syracuse team that we saw back in January when they beat Duke at Cameron Indoor. This Duke team was a nightmare. This Syracuse team was a nightmare. And I'm going to be honest with you right now. There's been a lot of talk about the ACC race. And Duke has proven why they belong in the ACC battle. Bottom line. All right. Now, that was the first game of the day. That was the first one I wanted to get to. The next game I want to talk about, the game of the day. Number 5, Tennessee. Number 13, LSU. LSU beat Tennessee today 82-80 in overtime. What a game this was. This was crazy. I have never seen so many things happen in a basketball game that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Nazari, they were talking about how great he was. He missed all 9 shots for LSU today. And however, LSU did capitalize in a big way off of turnovers. They got 17 points off of turnovers tonight. Tennessee coach Rick Barnes said after the game, the Vols need to understand. They need to understand we're going to be playing close games like this the rest of the way. We don't have a cupcake schedule anymore. And they need to realize that now. And he was right. LSU was no walk in the park. But if you watched the game today, did you notice how lousy the officiating was? I was sick. Poor Dickie V was about to I thought Dickie V was going to have a hernia. And I was about to have a hernia right next to him, baby. I shouldn't sound like that, but the officials just sucked. Excuse my language. And I'm sorry. The officiating was lousy. They were terrible. My father could have done a better job of officiating that game today than the 3 of those officials they had. They kept going to the monitor. And I'm all for instant replay, but the NCAA Rules Committee needs to take a look at how long these replays have been going. This is ridiculous. They should have 60 seconds like they do in the NFL and some of these other sports leagues to look at a replay. If they can't figure it out in 60 seconds, just stick with the original call. But anyway, LSU coach Will Wade said after that game, it was a grind-out battle, but we won it. Barely. And I mean, we played good, but we just barely took it. And here's the thing. For LSU, they were 25 and 65 from the field. That's only 38.5%. Tennessee, they were 30 and 67 for 44.8%. From beyond the arc. LSU, 8 of 25 from beyond the arc. That's only 32%. Tennessee, 8 of 22 from beyond the arc. That's 36.4%. At the free throw line, LSU is better. 24-31 for 77.4%. Tennessee, on the other hand, they shot 12 of 16 for 75%. Tennessee out-rebounded LSU 43-37. They out-assisted LSU 10-8. However, here's the problem. 14 turnovers led to 17 LSU points. Now for the stars of the game. LSU, Javonte Smart, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. Skylar Mays, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. Kavar Bigby Williams, 10 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for him today. For Tennessee, it was Emerald Schofield, 27 points, 9 rebounds. Grant Williams, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Jordan Bone, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals. That was it for him today. And I'll tell you right now, how do you start out a 12 noon game with a top 15 battle, you're in for a dogfight. And this game, I mean, it had the makings of a 15-round heavyweight championship fight today. That was a classic in the SEC, folks. I'm going to tell you right now, the Tennessee LSU contest on this Saturday was a battle. It had the makings of a 15-round World Heavyweight Championship fight. It went 15 rounds. LSU might as well have been if they had to go with the 3-judge system, LSU would have got a split decision. Maybe like 143, 142, 145, 144. That's how crazy this game was. All game and all day long. Now, we started out with the ACC. We went to the SEC. It's right back to the ACC for the next two games I want to talk about. First, I'm going to talk about number 3 Virginia, number 18 Louisville. Virginia beat Louisville today 64-52. Virginia was in the hole early, and then Louisville threw it away once again. Now for Virginia. Virginia shot 26 of 56 from the field. That's 46.4%. Louisville, they only shot 17 of 55. That's 30.9%. Ouch. Louisville did much better from beyond the arc, 12 of 33 for 36.4%. Virginia only went 2 of 17 from beyond the arc. That's only 11.8%. Virginia went a perfect 10 for 10 at the free throw line. Louisville was 6 of 8 for 75%. Virginia out-rebounded Louisville 39-28. Virginia out-assisted Louisville 12-10. There are hardly any mistakes in this game. Both teams only had 5 turnovers. There was one technical foul assessed today against Louisville coach Chris Mack because he decided to do his best Bobby Knight impersonation and start cussing and screaming about something, about a call that was made. He got teed up. I bring up Bobby Knight all the time. It's because he was a great. Now Bobby Knight was a great coach, I grant you. But when you see these coaches need to fire up the troops, sometimes dropping an F-bomb or two is the answer to all the problems. And if push comes to shove, throw a chair across the free throw line. I shouldn't disrespect the general like that. But I'll tell you right now, it's funny. I just like doing that. Now, back to the game. For Virginia, the stars of the game were DeAndre Hunter, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block shot. Mamadi Diakite, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 block shots. Jay Huff, 12.7 rebounds, 2 block shots himself today. For Louisville, not much. Jordan Alba, 17 points, 4 rebounds. Ryan McMahon, 12 points. That was it. Virginia coach Tony Bennett was very happy with his crew, was very happy with his players. Our players are now stepping up. And this is what he said after the game. Our players are stepping up. And they even said when they were down by 10 at the half, they said no problem. We got this. And they had it today. Virginia outscored Louisville 38-4 in the paint. That is huge. Louisville coach Chris Mack said, I don't know what in the heck's been going on with my players. We've blown leads in the last 3 of our 5 games. We were 2 of 17 from beyond the arc in the second half. We were red hot in the first half going 10 of 16, then we go 2 of 17 in the second half. We couldn't get anything done. Now all of a sudden, Louisville finds himself in the danger zone of not getting that 4th spot and getting that double bye. Now we got to think long and hard. This loss will hurt them plenty. And I'm going to say this right now. This was one shot. This was one game that Louisville had to have and they didn't get. Now, now all of a sudden, Louisville finds themselves behind the 8 ball in a big, big way. Can they find somebody to come back? Can they get a comeback and get the job done? That, my friends, remains to be seen. And I'm going to say this now. The ACC race is not far from over. Virginia was a winner today. Duke was a winner tonight. Florida State, North Carolina. This was another game that was well worth the talking about. Today, North Carolina took care of Florida State 77-59. Cameron Johnson, 18 points, 10 rebounds. He had a double-double today. Luke May, 15 points, 11 rebounds. He had a double-double. Nasir Little, he came off the bench, put up 18 points and 8 rebounds. Kobe White, 10 points, 4 assists. For Florida State, it was basically David Nichols, 16 points, 2 assists. Terrence Mann, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. That was it for them today. North Carolina dominated just about everything in this game except at the free throw line. North Carolina, they went 26 of 61 for 42.6%. Florida State, 18 of 59 from the field. Ouch. For only 30.5%. North Carolina went 7 of 20 from beyond the arc. That's 35%. That's pretty good for them. Florida State only went 10 of 31 for 32.3%. Florida State did very well at the free throw line, 13 of 16 for 81.3%. North Carolina went 18 of 25 for 72%. North Carolina did out-rebound Florida State 47-32. Florida State out-assisted North Carolina 13-11. Both teams had 10 turnovers. North Carolina committed 15 fouls to Florida State's 18. This game for North Carolina was a big one. UNC is now 30-3 under Roy Williams following their matchups against Duke. And Wednesday night in the matchup against Duke, North Carolina outscored Duke in the paint 62-28. Well, today, against the Florida State Seminoles, they outscored Florida State 28-12 in the paint. This was a big win for Florida State because right now, they're in that three-team battle for the ACC crown. Florida State's still trying to fight for that 4th spot. And Florida State fell to 4-18 in games in Chapel Hill with only one victory since 2000. Florida State coach Leonard Hamilton said, "You haven't heard the last of the Florida State Seminoles." That remains to be seen. If they can still get the 4th spot. That 4th spot is very, very important. You get that 4th spot, if you're in the top 4, you get a double bye. So there's still a lot at stake for Florida State. North Carolina coach Roy Williams said after this game, "We basically did our thing. We basically just continued. It was basically just a to be continued. It was basically a 2-parter. And we got the second part done. We got both parts complete. And now let's go out to win the ACC." So now, we've gone from the ACC to the SEC back to the ACC. Now we close it out with the Big 12. Yikes. And yikes is all you can say about what has been going on this season with the Kansas Jayhawks. It was bad. The Jayhawks just played pathetic. Texas Tech went on a shooting rampage tonight. We close it out. We're talking about number 12 Kansas, number 14 Texas Tech. Texas Tech humiliated Kansas 91-62. I have never seen a Kansas team play so awful in all my life. Texas Tech, 34-56 from the field. That's 60 points. They shot over 60% from the floor. Kansas, 22 of 48 from the floor for 45.8%. Texas Tech went on a beyond the arc three-point barrage. They put on a three-point clinic tonight. 16 of 26 from beyond the arc. That's 61.5% if you're keeping score at home. Kansas, 9 of 21 for 42.9%. Kansas did pretty well at the free throw line. Hee-haw. They went 9 of 12 for 75%. Texas Tech was a little bit weak at the free throw line. 7 of 13 for 53.8%. Texas Tech dominated this game. They out-rebounded Kansas 30-23. Texas Tech out-assisted Kansas 19-8. Kansas had 13 turnovers and they committed 17 fouls. They just played awful. Dietrich Lawson, 14 points, 5 rebounds. That was it for Kansas. As for Texas Tech, Jarrett Culver, 26 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Matt Mooney, 13.6 assists. David Moretti, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Tariq Owens, 10 points, 3 rebounds. And in all this, the sad part about it is Texas Tech humiliated Kansas. Now they got to turn around and root for Kansas. Texas Tech has got to cheer for Kansas State because if Kansas beats Kansas State on Monday night, all of a sudden, we now have a 3-team race for the Big 12 crown. Texas Tech coach Chris Beard said, "This is basically what we just did. We basically did what we did to Baylor. We did to Kansas what we did to Baylor last Saturday. Our team was ready to play again. And to put up big numbers like this, going into a big battle, and everybody needs to understand, we have a great team. We've been great at home all season. We beat Kansas in our building. They humiliated us once. We came back and humiliated them. And that's all there is to it. Folks, the reason why we have such a big race, we have a 4-team battle for the Big 12 championship instead of Kansas running away with it, comes down to this. In their last 10 games, Kansas is only 5-5 in their last 10 games, and now they are only 2-7 on the road. And on top of that, they got 2 more road games. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. And let's think about this. Oklahoma State, they're out of it unless they win the Big 12 conference tournament coming up here in a few weeks. Kansas got humiliated by West Virginia. West Virginia's not going anywhere. That's a really bad loss. But Oklahoma, they're still a little bit weak too. But Kansas does have 2 more road games. This is going to be, if they don't come out of this, if they lose both of those games, or lose at least one of them, they're out of it. They're done. In the Big 12 standings, Iowa State lost to TCU today, 75-72. I should have put that information down, but I forgot all about it. Now, all of a sudden, we have a 4-team race for the Big 12 crown. And considering what I saw today out of Kansas State, I think they're the odds-on favorite to win it all. Texas Tech, 1 game back. If they can get some help, that'd be good. So I'm going to give them a shot, but I'm going to give them a flat line too. Kansas, after what I saw tonight against Texas Tech on the road, they got 2 more road games, and they've struggled on the road all season. They've lost to West Virginia. They lost to Kentucky. They lose to Texas. Now they lost to Texas Tech tonight. Cross them out. Baylor, they still have some work to do, so cross them out too. So it's going to, in my opinion, and this is the consensus opinion of everybody, this is my opinion, it's down to Kansas State and Texas Tech for the Big 12 crown. That's all there is to it, my friends. That's all there is to it. The Big 12 race is so tight, it's not even funny. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have never seen Kansas just, they were pathetic. It was a nightmare in Lubbock tonight for the Kansas Jayhawks. Excuse me. All right, folks, it's time to hand out some awards. It's time to hand out the Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Awards for this Saturday. We're going to start it right out with the Duke-Syracuse contest. Now, R.J. Barrett, 30 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Congratulations, my friend. You are once again a recipient of a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Alex O'Connell, coming off the bench, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Congratulations to you, sir. You are a first-time recipient of a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Trey Jones, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block. Congratulations to you, sir. You got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Now, before I move on, I want to do something special for Jim Boeheim. Coach Boeheim, I realize you've had a rough week. Now, but you know what I want to do? I want to extend a very special thank you for all the service that you've given college basketball over these 40 years. You are a great coach. All right, let's move on. The Tennessee LSU contest. We have 3 awards to hand out. And all these guys are for our first-time recipients. In the LSU-Tennessee game, Javonte Smart, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Skylar Mays, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Kavell Bigby Williams, 10 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for you. That is very well deserving of a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Now, for the Virginia-Louisville contest, I got 3 awards to hand out. DeAndre Hunter, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Mohamed Diakite, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks. Congratulations to you, sir. You are a first-time recipient of a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Jay Huff, 12.7 rebounds, 2 blocks off the bench. Congratulations to you, sir. You are a first-time recipient of a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. For the North Carolina-Florida State contest, I have a bunch of awards to hand out. Cameron Johnson, 18 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double. That's very worthy of a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Luke May, 15 points, 11 rebounds. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Nasir Little, 18 points, 8 rebounds. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Kobe White, 10 points, 4 assists. Congratulations to you. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. For the Texas Tech-Kansas contest, Jarrett Culver, 26 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Congratulations to you, sir. You got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Matt Mooney, 13.6 assists. Congratulations to you, sir. You are once again a recipient of a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. David Moretti, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Congratulations to you, sir. You are once again a recipient of a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Tariq Owens, 10 points, 3 rebounds. You once again are a recipient of a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to hand out my Game of the Day pick. And there's a few good recipients. There's some good recipients of this award. But the winner of the Game of the Day award is number 13 LSU upsetting number 5 Tennessee 82-80 in overtime. Congratulations to that game. They got my Game of the Day award pick, and that was a no-brainer. I watched that game from start to finish, and it's a miracle I still have my sanity. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my closing thoughts on this night. Duke-Syracuse, the rematch. With everything that happened this week, Zion Williamson getting hurt, suffering a knee sprain, he's day-to-day, he didn't play. The Duke bench stepped up to the plate. The bench stepped up and got the job done. They're no longer going to be the number 1 team in the country after losing to North Carolina on Wednesday night. So it's been an emotional week for Duke. But for Syracuse, this week, the whole week for Syracuse has been emotional. Jim Boeheim being involved in a tragic car accident where he hit and killed a pedestrian along I-690 in Syracuse. This is to see Coach Boeheim and Coach and Mike Krzyzewski exchange hugs and embrace each other. That is what the game is all about. The sportsmanship that was there all week. The sportsmanship was there. There was a moment of silence for Jorge Jimenez, who was killed when he lost his life in that tragic accident. Coach Boeheim has been very cooperative with the police. No charges are going to be filed at this time. But you know what I want to do for Coach Boeheim? I am going to give him an honorary Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award for all of the service and all of the years that he has given to Syracuse. He's a great coach. I know sometimes he was a pain in the butt. My mom didn't like him, but you know what? Coach Boeheim is a great person. He's a good person. He's a great basketball coach, and he's a wonderful man. He's 74 years old, and he's still going strong. His wife, Julie, has been by his side throughout this whole thing. It has been an emotional week for both Duke and Syracuse. Now Duke has Virginia Tech coming up, and then Syracuse has to play North Carolina. It doesn't get any easier for them in the ACC race the rest of the way. But I'm going to tell you right now, the week is over. What's next? You pretty much heard it right here. Jim Boeheim, Mike Krzyzewski, you guys showed what sportsmanship was really about. And I thank you for it. And Coach Boeheim, my prayers go out to you, and my prayers go out to the M&S family. And I'm sorry for your loss. And it's been a very trying week for both Duke and Syracuse. I know Duke, Zion Williamson will be back. I understand that. But it's been a trying week for Syracuse after what happened with Jim Boeheim this past Wednesday night. And you know what? Two legendary coaches coached against each other tonight. And when it was all over, the sportsmanship is still there. And it was proven tonight in Syracuse, New York. And that's all I have to say tonight. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here tonight. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Scott Manning. All you have to do is type my name down, scroll down, look for my pretty face, and you'll see all the sports videos I have done so far. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here tonight. This is Scott Manning saying good night, good luck, and thank you. And I thank you, and good night. Good night, everybody, and thank you so much for being with me here on this night.